Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video on this Friday afternoon. England are through to the final. Somehow we've done it again. We take on Spain on Sunday night. Cannot wait to see how we get on in that one. Can Gareth Southgate ride this luck all the way? We will see very shortly. You joined me from a hotel room. Actually, I'm away with work for a few days, but I wanted to jump on because Newcastle have just brought breaking news that, following the reports of Amanda Staveley and Murdad leaving the club, still waiting to hear from the club officially on that, which is taking a little bit of time. Obviously, when things take a little longer to come out and confirm, it can sometimes lead to a lot of speculation. The understanding is that, it was part of the plan. Amanda and Murdad weren't going to be at Newcastle forever. She came in, she brokered the deal. She, was the face of Newcastle for quite a while, for 3 years, and no one wants to see her leave. She has spearheaded the women's team. She's been on the forefront with the fans, letting us know, it's not just been about, buying good players or buying players. It's been moving the Shearer statue. It's been staying in touch with the fans. It's been a hell of a lot of stuff, and Amanda Staveley's been the one at the very front of that. So for her to be leaving is very sad. The other possibility is that PIF are ready to, crack their knuckles and take the next big step with the football club, and they reckon that there's going to be a big meeting with the Newcastle owners this weekend. We thought it was going to be about transfers. I don't think it is going to be a transfers. I think it's going to be the Newcastle owners pulling into a room everyone, probably not Amanda and Murdad. I would be surprised if they are leaving that they would be in this, unless it's a bit of a handover that Amanda and Murdad are. But I would say possibly not. I think instead the plan is to get Darren Eales, Peter Stuyvesant, Paul Mitchell, and as of this afternoon, announced by Newcastle United, was already heavily rumoured, but announced this afternoon that James Bunce, the performance director, will also be a part of that meeting, announced by Newcastle this afternoon, that he will be the newest member of a growing senior staff. And I think they will be the ones that, take over from Amanda Murdad. It's reported that really they have kind of stepped down in their roles since, well, some people are saying the last few months. Some people are saying 6 months ago. I think that was always the plan. I think that the plan was always that they would hire the skilled people to come in and do the job. I think, that's why they felt so heavily let down by the likes of Dan Ashworth deciding that he didn't want to be a part of the football club anymore. They've put in trust in these people. There's been comments to say that if Amanda's not going to be the face of the company anymore, could it be Darren Eales? Could it be somebody totally new? Could there be more of a presence from the PIF? Will Big Yasser start getting a little bit more involved on the front? I would imagine it'll be Darren Eales. I think as well, the fans already know Darren Eales. I think if the switch from Amanda to Darren Eales is a lot more natural than to potentially go and get someone totally new and then throw them in the limelight and everyone's going, what the hell's going on? I did say that it has everything I've kind of mentioned there, I think, sounds sensible. Whether it, tell me if I'm wrong. If it sounds like a lot of crock, then tell me as well. But the idea that Amanda was always going to go, the idea that maybe they've decided to move on to our next project, or maybe the idea that phase 2's coming and the PIF want to get more involved. The speculation also is that, is it because it was kind of Amanda's project, but the PIF weren't happy with Amanda's progress, so they decided to ship her off early. This is the kind of stuff that starts coming out when Newcastle haven't commented. And I would like to prefer it's what I've already mentioned than that. And bearing in mind, Darren Eales was also reportedly going to come out and make a statement with regard to all of the PSR deadline stuff, and we've not really heard about that either. So the news coming out is very much so that it was always kind of part of the plan. And look, it's Amanda's job. That was what Amanda was brought in to do, was to broker these deals. She brokered the deal. She bought her shares. She's no doubt sold the shares for a much higher fee. So Amanda's come in, she's made her money. I think it's a shame that she's not more involved still, because who's going to spearhead the women's football now? Is that going to come into Darren Eales? You know, it's a shame. But if she's not going to be part owner and she doesn't have a direct job around the training ground anymore, then maybe it is that she does go. It'll be very interesting to see what is kind of reported on and what is spoken about following the meeting this weekend, to see kind of what went on. But as I mentioned, there will be a new person there this weekend to add to the growing staff, and it will be James Bunce. Why did I pause there for so long? For a second, I've done a video for 5.5 minutes and I already forgot his name. No, I haven't. James Bunce, who previously worked with Paul Mitchell whilst at Monaco, coming in as the performance director. Someone who decides to decide whether they're doing a good job. Performance director. It's not one that is possibly the obviously, we know sporting directors, that's all spoken about a lot. Performance directors is a role that, I have to be honest, isn't one that I'd heard a lot about, but has been kind of covered a fair bit over the last few days. Newcastle have said they've appointed James Bunce as performance director, and delighted to announce that he has operated across clubs, leagues and federations during a 17-year career in professional sport, gaining a wealth of experience in England and Europe, reporting into sporting director Paul Mitchell. So there you go, the idea that they've worked together previously. I mean, as I say, ahead of the announcement, kind of what I knew about it more than anything was that he had worked with Paul Mitchell. It's similar to Eddie Howe bringing in Jason Tyndall. You know, I think people come into jobs and they want to bring the people with them that they know are gonna help them along their way. He will be a key support to the club's performance, medical, sports science, nutrition and psychology team. So really it sounds helping to drive an elite performance culture and cohesive approach across the men's team, academy and women's team. So I guess that's a little bit of an insight there to who will be kind of covering the women's team. I think it is a good thing that the resources are also pushed to be available for the women as well, but it sounds like he's kind of a man of many talents, really, coming in and organising sports science, medical. I mean, it sounds more kind of like a doctor than a coach in itself, and maybe that's exactly what Newcastle need. So we're going to join the Premier League as it heads ahead of elite performance, supporting all of the club's development of performance and medical standards. Oh, well, there you go. Is this partly down to all of the injuries we had last season? Or are they trying to... I mean, as I say, I think it is more that he's Paul Mitchell's former colleague that he knows will support him. But is there a little bit of including multi-club... Oh, wow. League-wide injury surveillance and monitoring. Wow. There is so much to read here. I'm not going to do all of it in this video, but wow, there you go. So it looks like Newcastle are also trying to get a handle of it on injuries, as well as growing the backroom staff. Let me know your thoughts down below on the new man, James Bunce. As I mentioned, he's been reported fairly heavily over the last few days that this would be happening. I think the fact that he's coming in to support Paul Mitchell, previous colleague, makes sense. I hadn't really prepared for that, to be honest, and it was also going to be that he's also going to be covering injuries. Well, there you go. Let's hope he's the man who stops the injuries for Newcastle this season. Let me know your thoughts about that down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, as always, guys. Thank you for joining me from this lovely hotel room while I'm away for a few days of work. But I will be back in Newcastle very soon, and I will be back for the final on Sunday. So fingers crossed England can get the job done. And then after that, it's going to be a very busy 5.5 weeks of the summer window. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.